Megawide Construction, balak iangat bilang world-class airport ang NAIA. Ang inspirasyon ng kanilang disenyo, panoorin at alamin.
Let's go.
Megawide Construction Corporation and its Indian partner, GMR Infrastructure Limited, is proposing a rehabilitation and transformation of the country's busiest and most congested airport complex, the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, after successfully building the award-winning Cebu International Airport. Megawide-GMR's 109 billion pesos unsolicited proposal promises a world-class main gateway for the Philippines and a design inspired by a local landscape. This time, their peg is the Banaue Rice Terraces, which is dubbed as the eighth wonder of the world. The joint venture, current holder of the original proponent status for the NAIA Rehabilitation Project, unveiled its plans for the airport in a press briefing on Monday, November 16. The leading Filipino infrastructure and engineering innovation company promises travelers flying in and out of the Philippines' premier gateway to experience a dramatic improvement in terms of comfort, efficiency, and safety in the first year alone of the proposed project. Megawide-GMR pledged to build a new passenger terminal building and new taxiways, which would be constructed between NAIA Terminals 1 and 2. It also wants to include a bus rapid transit for the airport and an elevated railway linking the terminals. Winston Hsu, the architect who worked on Cebu International Airport, was again tapped by Megawide-GMR for the NAIA Rehabilitation Project. The idea is to bring the outside in by adding greenery and letting natural light flow into the huge block of concrete that is NAIA. With the proposed NAIA Green Valley, Hsu reimagines NAIA Terminal 1 not just as an airport but also an area where people can mingle and do other activities. The concept is akin to Singapore's Jiwo Changi Airport, which became a tourist destination of its own. A plaza would be built in the area between the landside village, a commercial area, and the airport on the departure road. The car park would be transferred underground so that the land above could be used instead as a commercial area, which would lead to the airport entrance. The designer wants to build a connection, not just physical but also visual clarity, so that passengers will know where to go naturally without relying on the signages. For Hsu, it's also all about passenger experience. So they want to turn that space into a plaza with landscaping where people can eat and drink and still be protected by a canopy and still enjoy the natural light with air moving naturally. Architect Hsu also wanted to feel like a much bigger place than it already is. While there are a lot of grand ideas for the airport, Megawide executive said that the existing facilities designed by national artist for architecture Leandro Locsin will be preserved in respect of the culture and history of NAIA, according to Megawide Chief Executive Officer Edgar Saavedra. The first phase of the unsolicited proposal would focus on immediate improvements on reducing flight delays. The Chief Executive Advisor of GMR Megawide Cebu Airport Corporation, Mr. Andrew Harrison, said the objective is to make sure that flights will no longer be delayed. To achieve this, Harrison explained, that operating on a single runway would be more efficient, increasing the number of aircraft taking off and landing at the airport. Harrison said they want to fix the problem immediately by making the experience of passengers a good experience. Going back to the 45 to 47 million passenger traffic, they will solve the problems of delays by improving the processes. The construction of the new terminal building and improvements on taxi lanes would be done during the second phase of the plan. Megawide-GMR targets to expand NAIA's capacity to 65 million passengers annually, up from its current design of 31 million passengers every year. The third phase of the rehabilitation project would involve mainly the construction of the elevated railway. Operations-wise, Megawide-GMR plans to absorb NAIA employees if the joint venture gets the project award. The National Economic and Development Authority has yet to greenlight the project. Once the NEDA board gives its approval, Megawide said the government can finally move forward with the Swiss challenge in the first quarter of 2021, when other firms can make competing offers. Being the original proponent, Megawide-GMR has the right to match competing offers during the Swiss challenge. Megawide executive said the first two phases, which are expected to take 10 years, amount to 20 billion pesos and could be funded by the firm alone. According to Megawide Chief Branding and Corporate Affairs Officer Louis Ferrer, financial requirements sought by NEDA will be submitted within the week. It can be remembered that previously, lawmakers and groups questioned whether Megawide-GMR would be able to fund the project and suggested that the Manila International Airport Authority undertake the modernization plan instead. With the allaying concerns over the company's financial capability, Saavedra said investors and lenders are very excited for the firm to push through with the project. That's why they are also very confident that they can get the needed funding for the project. Saavedra thinks that the most critical part is the approval of this project. He added once it gets approved by NEDA, then the next will be more procedural, the Swiss challenge and award. Megawide Corporation also speaks on its track record. The Mactan Cebu International Airport was awarded the Asia Pacific Medium Airport of the Year in the CAPA 2018 Asia Aviation Awards for Excellence, and won at the World Architecture Festival in the Completed Buildings Transport category, besting Singapore Jewel Changi Airport and Hong Kong West Kowloon Station, among others. Mactan Cebu International Airport also showcases local source materials aligned with Megawide's DNA to help uplift local entrepreneurs and workers. In addition, it is recognized for its innovations and technological advancements that pave way for efficient traveling. Significantly, the MCIA has spurred economic growth in Cebu, as tourism is one of its economic pillars. The modernization of MCIA has been pivotal in advancing Cebu's tourism image as tourist arrivals increased in 2019, before the pandemic hit the Philippines. President Rodrigo Duterte praised local construction group Megawide Corporation for its rebuilding and management efforts on the Mactan Cebu International Airport, now currently lauded as the country's best airport of its kind. He also noted the firm's good track record in developing infrastructure, saying they could have any airport they would want as long as it's bidding. In September 2020, Megawide also delivered the new, architecturally distinctive Clark International Airport Terminal Building, capable of serving up to 12 million passengers a year, within budget and on time to the Department of Transportation and the airport proponents. Megawide also built and operating the first land port in the Philippines, and the Parañaque Integrated Transport Exchange or PTEX, which have earned praises among Filipino commuters with its modern airport-like interior and facilities. If the NAIA Rehabilitation Project is indeed awarded to Megawide-GMR, the concession agreement would last for 25 years. Since it's under a concession agreement, it only means that the cost of the proposed rehabilitation plan will be shouldered by the firm alone without cost to the government. What do you think of the proposed 109 billion NAIA Rehabilitation Project? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell